Starting April 1st, 2026, millions of Kazakhstanis are facing higher bills of heating, water, and electricity. The government moratorium that kept tariffs frozen has ended, and for many households, the change is already visible. Tonight, we look at what is behind the rise, who is affected the most, and whether higher prices will actually lead to better survival. The moratorium on utility price increases was introduced during the pandemic. For several years, prices were kept artificially low, but the real cost continued to grow. Inflation increased, equipment aged, and the companies responsible for heating, water, and electricity were covering losses from reserves or local budget support. According to various economic estimates, tariffs in some regions covered only 60 to 75% of actual operating costs. The rest was simply not paid for. Now that gap is being closed and the consumers are the ones observing indifference. In the next 2 to 3 years, heating and the water tariffs in some regions may rise by 20-25%. Electricity tariffs are expected to increase by around 10 to 12%. The impact of raising tariffs is not the same for everyone. Low-income households are the most vulnerable because utility costs represent a much larger share of their monthly budget compared to wealthier families. Small businesses, especially in food service and the retail, are also under pressure. A 15 to 20% increase in utility costs can reduce profit margins by 3 to 5 percentage points. For a small cafe or a family-owned shop, that is a serious blow. Economists warn that the inflationary effect will spread further. Then energy and the water costs rise. The prices of everyday goods tend to follow.
For several years, tariffs were kept artificially low under the moratorium, but the actual cost kept growing. Fuel prices went up, equipment aged. In some regions, tariffs were covering only 60 to 75% of what is actually cost to deliver heat and hot weather. The rest was either subsidized or simply not invested back into the system. Now that gap has to be closed.
The end of the moratorium marks a turning point of utility policy in Kazakhstan. Higher tariffs may be economically necessary, but whether they actually lead to better services, greater reliability, and the improved infrastructure depends on how strictly the government monitors how that money is used.